download high resolution things, then that is a place where it would be necessary. Otherwise, for display purposes, high resolution is not necessary, and it slows your page down. And for those of you who paid $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for flash animation pages, I feel sorry for you that you got ripped off. The search engines hate those pages. Those pages slow your website down. Visitors hate those pages. They might be wowed by them the first time they show up, but the next time they show up, if they ever come back, they don't want to be slowed down by the I'm sorry, ridiculous animation, flash animations. They came for information solutions and downloads and stuff like that, and they didn't come to have to wait 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds for some stupid flash animation to play. They don't want to watch it, and Google will not index it, and it will slow your site down. So I'm sorry if you paid for that. There may be times when that is needed for some demonstration purposes, but in general, to build a site on flash animation is a big mistake. Things that speed your site up, well, we kind of already mentioned those. Just remove those things that we already talked about that there's too much of. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of all of it, okay? I did not say that. I said get rid of what you don't need, all right? So keep what you need, get rid of what you don't need, and you definitely, no matter what, with the exception of somebody needing to download high resolution stuff, you do not need high resolution images on your pages. So there are places to reduce the resolution of images. There's probably even free things online to do that. So reduce the resolution of the images that are necessary. And on WordPress sites, you want to use this plugin, WP Super Cache. This will speed up this is one plugin that does not slow things down, it speeds things up. And I highly recommend you use it. Most web hosts recommend you use this on your WordPress content managed sites. All right, so WP Super Cache, get it. It's free, absolutely free. It's in the it's inside your WordPress admin area where you download the plugins, where you search for plugins. You can find it there, the WordPress plugin repository or whatever it's called. All right, so you want to be able to really beat the hell out of these penguins. You want to be a real penguin pounder and make it so they don't ever come back to you and kick you out way back from page 1 to who knows page where. And so another thing you need to do to make that happen is modify your 404 error page. What is this page? Well, this is the page that is shown when a bad URL is typed on your website. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so let's just say my website is yourtrafficstarterblog.com, or let's even use my other one, thinkbigandgrowmedia.com. That's my website, but it's got pages after it. So there's thinkbigandgrowmedia.com / and some other page. All right, so let's just make up a page. This doesn't really exist, but let's just say I have a page, thinkbigandgrowmedia.com / think, THINK. All right, let's just say I have that. But somebody comes in and they type in thinkbigandgrowmedia.com / THIN, and they forget the K. So the THIN page doesn't exist. So when they type that and hit enter, they get the 404 error page. So that's what I'm talking about, that error page that pops up. Typically, it doesn't say anything on it other than something stupid like, whoops, you made an error, try again, or something like that. And what the Google and the search engines want it to say is something that shows them how to get the content, or even gives them content similar to what they might be looking for. All right? So in some WordPress themes, it actually creates a page for you. In non-WordPress sites, you would have to make that 404 error page, and I'm not going to show you how to do that here, but you can certainly do a search how to create 404 error pages, and you're going to come up with a video for it. Or if you have a webmaster, he or she should know how to do that. All right, but make a 404 web page that shows your reader, your visitor, how to get to the content they were looking for. by giving them some links, useful links, to get them to put relevant places in your site. All right. Within WordPress, there's actually there may still be a plugin that actually does this 404 stuff for you. So take a look in the free WordPress plugins and see if it isn't there. It used to be called, I think it was WordPress 404 or something like that. I'm almost sure it had the numbers 404 in it. So do a search for 404 pages for WordPress inside the plugin directory of WordPress. But do not simply redirect to the home page. The search engines see you redirecting all errors to your home page as really a trick. So don't do that. Present a page that shows useful links of how to get places, so the reader can decide where they actually want to go. Remember, in the core lessons, one of the goals is making everything human readable and human friendly. So that's one of the things that makes your site safe from penguins. But by you doing this or reviewing your site that already got beat up by the penguins, you can become a penguin pounder by just simply going back and reviewing your content for what is good and what actually isn't really very good. But remember all the other things you need to apply if you decide to delete something. One of the things inside of content that people used to do is in their images stuff in a bunch of keywords. That will get your page de-indexed in a heartbeat. So if you've done that, go through those alt tags on images and fix those. Your webmaster should know exactly how to do that. But you can do it inside of WordPress easily just by opening it up in the editor and clicking on the image and fixing it. The alt tag should describe the image. It should say what the image is, okay? If the image is, Donald Duck, then write in the alt tag, Donald Duck image, all right? If the image is an image that says, how to pound penguins, write in the alt tag, how to pound penguin images. Sometimes it may contain a keyword, but a lot of times it won't. And don't try to force it to have keywords in it, all right? If it has nothing in the alt tag, that's bad too. Put something in the alt tag to describe the image, all right? Just describe the image. That's it. That's all you do. And that will get that content back where it belongs. All right? Other things the little Google animals don't like is when you've given your authority from your website via links and who you link to, when you give that authority to sites that aren't relevant. Now, people used to do this and still do, and they don't get it that they shouldn't do it. That they would in their plugins make their comments do follow comment so that more people would write comments. The problem with this is people will come write comments, and then when they do that, they create a link to their site from your comments. That isn't bad necessarily, except they're often doing it to totally irrelevant sites. So they can go ahead and do it to totally irrelevant sites. That's fine. But make sure you leave the comments no follow. The default for WordPress is no follow, but if you're using SEO plugins, like we mentioned, it's possible that they've been changed to do follow. So make sure your comments remain no follow. All right? Any questions there? No follow means that the search engines will understand that you understand that this link really isn't very relevant, so you're not really putting the authority of your website behind that link. All right? And they won't pass on. They call this, passing link juice, and you won't pass any link juice or authority to the other site. I know that's confusing, but don't get hung up in it. Focus on this. Your comments should be no follow. And I guess I already covered that bullet. Prevents passing your reputation in the other pages. And of course, Google, essentially, if you have a whole lot of comments or do follow links going to irrelevant places, that's going to count against you. Your site will lose authority, and you just simply don't want that to be the case. All right, to become a penguin pounder, If you haven't been doing this, you should. You want to have social functions on your site where people can share things on your site socially. This is very easy to do in WordPress. In the core layers, we show you a way to do that. There's a number of different ways to do that, but you want to include at least the Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus on your pages, and then maybe even LinkedIn, but any other ones you add, that's totally up to you. But you want your readers to be able to share it. That's important for relevance. WordPress does make this easy. A couple of plugins that do this for you are Dig and Shareaholic. You may have to do this manually and have your webmaster do this for you if you're working on a non-WordPress site. Although many other content management systems have these things built in as well. If you're not using them, use them. If Dig or Shareaholic doesn't work right or looks ugly on the way you want your stuff presented, there's many more free plugins to do this. So just do a search for the plugins. Look for social sharing plugins. I don't know, Facebook sharing plugin. Twitter sharing plugin. Think of some sort of search like that inside the plugin directory to do it, or inside of Google itself. All right. Now, to be a real Google penguin pounder and prevent the Google animals from stealing your site away from the search engines, you want to make sure you really keep visitors on your site as long as possible. This is much easier said than done. I said it in a couple seconds, but it won't take you a couple seconds if you're having problems with this to fix it. You'll probably have to do a little work. Google Analytics refers to this as your bounce rate. This is how quick, when somebody comes to your site, Google's looking to see that they go to other pages in your site. And the more often they come to your site and leave from the same page, the higher your bounce rate is. So a high bounce rate is bad because it indicates people are not going anywhere on your site than one page. They're coming to a page and leaving immediately. So you don't want that to happen. Well, you may want that to happen. There are cases where that's the exact purpose. You have one page and that's the only place you want them to go. So don't be worried about bounce rate there. That's not a page you're going to be trying to rank in the search engine. So don't get bogged down with that. I'm talking about web pages for content. So those you want them to go to other web pages for similar content. So a high bounce rate would be bad, and you don't want people leaving your website without going to other pages when you're talking about getting content ranked in the search engines. All right. Another reason to have links to it is another reason to have links to other relevant content on your site. Remember, we talked about that earlier. By having these links in your content to other pages, posts, articles, whatever on your site, that encourages people to click them and go to the other pages, and it will increase decrease your bounce rate and increase the time people stay on your site. All right, in WordPress, there's a couple plugins to help you do this. So take a look and see if they work on your site. See if they do them right. Simple reach slide or related post thumbnails. If they don't look right on your site, don't use them. There may be a couple others available to you for free. So do a search for plugins for related posts or internal linking or something of that sort. Okay.